Hi there, my name is Sam from Verse.com and welcome to a new comparison video between the Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max and the Oppo Find X2 Pro. We are comparing both phones in terms of display, performance, camera, design and battery. Stay tuned and find out which phone is in our opinion the better phone. If you'd like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's start straight away with our review. Let the facts speak. Display. The Find X2 Pro has a 6.7-inch display with a 1440p resolution. It is fitted with an OLED screen which does a fantastic job. The 6.7-inch display therefore measures 17 cm diagonally with a pixel density of 513 ppi. The Find X2 Pro has the 2020 must-have feature of an impressive 120Hz refresh rate, even with the highest resolution. So 120Hz with a great resolution and a great big screen. Let's see if the iPhone can keep up with that. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a 6.7-inch display with a 1284p resolution. The 6.7-inch display therefore measures 17 cm diagonally with a pixel density of 458 ppi. The iPhone's OLED screen creates as usual very natural colors. The refresh rate on the iPhone 12 Pro Max is 60 Hz. And the answer is no. The iPhone doesn't have the 120Hz refresh rate feature and also falls behind in terms of resolution and pixel density. Still, at least it has the same size, but that couldn't help the iPhone. It loses out against the Find X2 Pro, which takes home the point in this category. Camera. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a triple rear camera system. It features a 12 megapixel ultra-wide, a 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel telephoto camera. The front's camera resolution is also 12 megapixel. The iPhone 12 Pro Max records 4K videos at a maximum of 60 frames per second. And of course it has image stabilization for video. The 12 Pro Max also has a sensor shift optical image stabilization for its wide-angle camera. The iPhone doesn't have the biggest amount of megapixel, but a great system. Let's dive into the camera system of the Find X2 Pro. The Find X2 Pro has three main cameras, a 48 megapixel wide angle, a 48 megapixel ultra wide angle and a 13 megapixel telephoto camera. The front camera's resolution is 32 megapixel and it is built into the hole punch notch in the upper left corner of the screen. The Oppo Find X2 Pro records 4K videos at a maximum of 60 frames. And of course, it has image stabilization for video. Both phones have good camera systems, but which one is actually the better system? Let's take it to our camera test and let's find out which one does a better job. To test the cameras, we took pictures of a test chart in daylight and in nighttime conditions. Let's compare the results. Comparing the daylight pictures, the pictures on both look really sharp with lots of details. The iPhone pictures seem a little brighter and zoomed in, they tend to have a little more details. The pictures taken at nighttime conditions are darker and have more grain on the iPhone, but still more details. But the Oppo did a great job too. In the case of the front camera, both cameras take equally sharp images. The 12 Pro Max has a 5-fold optical and a 12-fold digital zoom feature. The Find X2 Pro, on the other hand, has a 10-fold optical and a 60-fold digital zoom. Okay, let's switch from photo to video. What you can see and hear is the quality of Apple's iPhone 12 Pro Max video recording. We set it to the highest possible video quality. Let's see what the competitor sounds and looks like. What you see and hear is the quality of Apple's Find X2 Pro video recording. We set it to the highest possible quality. We think that the sound quality from the iPhone is better than that of the Find X2 Pro. Okay, let's crop in a bit in post to see how that looks like. The iPhone seems to have problems with the colorful background, which messes up the white balance. Therefore, the Oppo seems more accurate and quite sharp. As you can see, both look pixelated when cropped in. But the Find X2 Pro still looks a little bit better than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Oppo does a better job in terms of sharpness. The Oppo Find X2 Pro, thanks to a resolution of 4K, produces top quality videos. Full HD mode offers 240 frames per second, which records really great slow motion videos. The iPhone, thanks to a resolution of 4K, also produces first class videos. With 240 frames per second in Full HD mode, your slow motion videos are a go. The winner in this category is the iPhone 12 Pro Max, since we think that the overall quality of the pictures it produced was better than the pictures of the Oppo's Find X2 Pro. But the Oppo still did a really good job, in some parts even better than the iPhone. So there are pros and cons on both sides. If you want to see the more detailed camera test, click here. Performance. The Oppo Find X2 Pro had the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 chip with 1x 2.84 GHz and 3x 2.42 GHz and 4x 1.8 GHz for solid performance. The Find X2 Pro has 12GB RAM with 512GB internal storage capacity. The storage capacity unfortunately cannot be expanded. The Oppo came in strong in previous videos. Next up, the specs of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is equipped with Apple's A14 Bionic chip. The phone has 6GB RAM and the individual models offer different storage capacities. 128, 256 and 512GB are available. Storage capacity unfortunately cannot be expanded as it is typically for Apple iPhone devices. Like I said, the Oppo Find X2 Pro came in strong in previous reviews, but the A14 Bionic chip has a new process technology, which makes the iPhone also quite good. To find out how they perform, let's bring them into the Antutu benchmark test and the Geekbench 5 test. The tests are divided into 3 phases: a performance test of the RAM, a test of how the device is handling 2-dimensional graphics, and an endurance test of how the device is handling 3D graphics. The second test is from Geekbench. This app will measure the performance of our smartphones in terms of CPU and GPU. Even though the Oppo performed quite good, the iPhone 12 Pro Max did a great job in both benchmark tests and therefore rightfully wins the performance point. Design. The Oppo Find X2 Pro that we tested in this comparison uses a very elegant vegan leather finish. The triple camera system is well positioned on the upper left corner on the back of the phone. Unfortunately, the bump sticks out a lot, so it won't lie flat on a table. It will definitely wobble a bit. The smartphone weighs 200 grams. It is roughly 16.5 cm long, 7.44 cm wide and 0.95 cm deep. It has a USB-C connector. The IP68 rating makes it also water and dust resistant. The Find X2 Pro uses face recognition technology and a fingerprint scanner which is built into the screen to unlock the phone. Both technologies work great. There's also a ceramic version available, which is slightly heavier and a tiny bit thinner. Our concern is that the vegan leather might change color over time. Since this phone has vegan leather, it definitely looks different than other current smartphones on the market. Let's compare it to Apple's iPhone. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a glossy stainless steel frame and a matte glass finish on the back. Typically for Apple, it has a very high-end look and feel to it. The triple cameras are well positioned on the upper left corner on the back of the phone. The smartphone weighs 228 grams. It's roughly 16 cm long, 7.81 cm wide and 0.74 cm deep. It uses Apple's Lightning connector and is IP68 rated, so it's water and dust resistant. And it is supposed to be 4 times more drop resistant than previous models. The iPhone uses face recognition technology to unlock the phone. The Face ID as usual works perfect at daylight and also good in a weak light environment. Like I already said, it's an unusual approach that Oppo did with the vegan leather on the back of the phone. In this case we like the feel to it, but the color could have been a different one. Overall, we think that Apple has a more high-end look and feel to it. The color lets the Oppo feel a little cheap, don't you think? Anyways, we give this point to Apple's iPhone 12 Pro Max. But as always, this is our subjective opinion. Your taste might be different than ours. We just mentioned some points that we think that are positive or negative. So let us know in the comments below which phone is in your opinion the better looking phone. But don't forget to tell us why. Battery. The iPhone when fully charged has around 3687 mAh. On the other hand, the Oppo when fully charged has 4260 mAh. In terms of capacity, the Oppo Find X2 Pro should last longer. Let us find out whether that's really the case in our day-to-day usage test. It was close, but the Oppo won by only a bit. So the Find X2 Pro takes home the point on this one. But once again, both phones got easily through a full day of normal usage. It always depends on the way you use your phone and the settings you use it in. Conclusion. So which phone is a better phone in this comparison? The expensive iPhone or the less expensive Oppo? Let's go through the categories to collect the points. The display category won the Oppo, since the iPhone has still only 60Hz refresh rate. And overall the Find X2 Pro has better specs in this category. The performance category won the iPhone. It came in stronger in both of the benchmark tests. In terms of the camera system, we give the point to the iPhone. There were pros and cons on both sides, but the iPhone performed in our opinion better than the Find X2 Pro. The design point went to the iPhone, which we consider the more high-end phone. The last point went to the Find X2 Pro, since the new iPhone lineup really don't perform as well as they usually did. So in the end it was close, but the iPhone managed to win this comparison video. Which is crazy, because the low-budget Oppo Find X2 Pro easily could keep up with the high-end iPhone 12 Pro Max. I think in the end is the deciding factor the preference if you want to be in the iOS ecosystem or if you like Androids more. Naturally, we review more than these 5 categories covered here. If you want to see the full comparison, follow the link to our website. You can compare up to 7 different smartphones at versus.com. But before you do that, please post your comments and let us know which phone you think ranks first. If you liked our video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Till then, take care and see you soon.